This is Euronews Now. I'm Ralsan. It's great to have you with us. Let's take a look at our top stories. France re-elects Emmanuel Macron to a second term as president. He says he'll govern with those in mind who voted for him, only to block his far-right challenger, Marine Le Pen. Washington promises hundreds of millions of dollars in military support for Ukraine after the US Secretaries of State and Defense hold talks with President Zelenskyy in Kyiv. And it's a major win for the opposition Liberal Party in Slovenia's parliamentary elections. They've taken the most seats and defeated the country's incumbent populist Prime Minister, Janez Janša.
French President Emmanuel Macron has pledged to unite France after a decisive victory against the nationalist far right. The country's Interior Ministry predicted the 44-year-old secured a majority with 58.5 to 41.1% of the vote. He praised the electorate, who gave him 5 more years at the Élysée Palace.
Finally, I speak to all those who voted for Madame Le Pen, who are disappointed this evening. No, don't boo anybody. I have always asked you not to boo. Because from now, I'm no longer a candidate on one side, but the president of all.
Le Pen conceded defeat, although didn't congratulate Macron. However, the 53-year-old claimed Sunday's election a success after winning more than 12 million votes with 43%. She vowed to continue the political fight and never abandon France.
With more than 43% of the vote, tonight's results is in itself a brilliant victory. Tonight we launched the great electoral battle of the legislative elections. I will lead this battle alongside Jordan Bardella, with all those who had the courage to oppose Emmanuel Macron in the second round. In short, with all those who have the nation at heart.
Macron will now focus on creating a package before the summer to ease the cost of living and the parliamentary elections in June. He is seeking a majority for his centrist grouping.
France was not the only country to hold national elections. In Slovenia, the Liberal Freedom Movement Party celebrate after exit poll results show that they have won the general election. The newcomers received around 34% of the vote. The leader, Robert Golob, made his address via video call, as he is believed to have COVID.
We have not had voter turnout like this in 20 years. And that says it all. It tells you that people really want change. And people trust us as the only ones who can bring those changes. And don't forget, hope gives birth to expectations. And hope gives birth to our responsibilities.
Slovenia's right-wing populist Prime Minister, Janez Janša, had hoped to win a 4th term in office. But the SDS party only secured more than 23% of the vote.
We will never behave the way the opposition did over the past 2 years. Slovenia fought the pandemic and will receive everything except support and cooperation. Even in opposition, the Slovenian Democratic Party will behave differently in a statesman-like manner.
Experts say the election's 68% turnout was above the national average.
The US Secretary of State and the US Defense Secretary met with the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy in Kyiv last night. It's the highest level visit from a US official to the country since the Russian invasion began. Zelenskyy said before Antony Blinken and Lloyd Austin's arrival that he was hopeful for weapons, not cake.
Why is it essential that leaders come to us? I will answer you pragmatically. You cannot come to us empty-handed right now. We're expecting specific things and specific weapons. Therefore, I believe that we'll be able to obtain from the United States what we agreed on, part of an arms package for Ukraine.
Authorities will try and establish humanitarian routes out of Mariupol on Monday. However, as the country enters its third month of war, the UN has called for an immediate stop to fighting in the besieged port city to allow more than 100,000 trapped civilians to leave. In a tweet on Sunday, the UN Crisis Coordinator for Ukraine, Amin Awad, wrote, "The lives of tens of thousands, including women, children and older people, are at stake at Mariupol. They must be allowed to safely evacuate now, today. Tomorrow could be too late." According to reports, Russian troops continue to bombard the Azovstal steel plant at the weekend, where around 1,000 civilians are hiding. However, Russia continues to deny its troops are targeting civilians, as Russian President Vladimir Putin attended an Orthodox Easter ceremony in Moscow. But in Ukraine, the fierce fighting casts a shadow over the traditional festivities, with no sign from Russia of easing their attacks. €613 million in foreign military financing. That's how much the US has agreed to provide Ukraine as Russia's President Vladimir Putin's assault on the war-torn country continues. The announcement follows a top-secret visit from America's Secretary of State and the Defence Secretary to Kyiv. Following the talks, Antony Blinken and Lloyd Austin told reporters in Poland that Russia is failing.
Russia has sought as its principal aim to totally subjugate Ukraine, to take away its sovereignty, to take away its independence. That has failed. It sought to assert the power of its military and its economy. We, of course, are seeing just the opposite. A military that is dramatically underperforming, an economy as a result of sanctions, as a result of a mass exodus from Russia that is in shambles. And it sought to divide the West and NATO. Of course, we're seeing exactly the opposite.
But isn't able to...
So they believe that we can win. We believe that they can win if they have the right equipment, the right support. And we're going to do everything we can, continue to do everything we can to ensure that that gets there.
In Sunday's meeting, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy expressed his gratitude for Washington's aid and hailed Biden for his personal support. Blinken and Austin informed Ukraine's leader that €153 million of the aid package would go towards weapons for the country.
French police have shot 2 people dead and wounded a woman after a car refused to stop at a checkpoint in Paris. The incident happened at the Pont Neuf bridge in the center of the capital after the re-election of President Emmanuel Macron. Police confirmed the wounded person was female and had been sitting in the back of the vehicle. Another round of negotiations were underway on Sunday between the Polish Air Navigation Service Agency and trade union members of air traffic controllers. On Friday, they failed to reach an agreement over a dispute about pay and conditions. More than half of the Warsaw auditors want to leave their jobs at the end of the month. China's capital has warned of a grim situation with rising COVID-19 infections as Beijing residents rush to buy groceries. Shanghai has reported 39 COVID-19 related deaths on Sunday, which is the highest daily toll despite weeks of lockdowns. The world's second largest economy has been struggling to stamp out its worst outbreak in 2 years. A relic of Charles I of Austria was placed in the Imperial Chapel at Prague Castle. The last king of Bohemia and the Emperor of Austria's grandson attended the ceremony. Charles von Habsburg is a member of the Knights of St. George, like his grandfather. Charles died in exile in Madeira at the age of 34.
This is Euronews Now. For more updates on the French election results and all of our other top stories, you can check out our website, euronews.com.